All right, in assessing the data part 1, we noticed that we had a lot of missing data. 42.5% of our cases appear to be missing. 113 people have been excluded from this analysis because of missing data. So let's go back and run that same Explore feature over again. Analyze, Descriptives, Explore. And let's change our options to exclude cases pairwise. That'll allow us to go back through and figure out exactly where that missing data is. Is it spread across all of those variables, or is one of those variables missing more data than the others? Let's go ahead under plots and uncheck some things just so that it doesn't take quite so long to run. And we'll hit OK again. So now we can see on the SPSS, we have 194 valid cases and 72 missing. 27% of our data is missing. That's not great. On the NCW, much better. Only 6.4% of our cases are missing. That's a fairly low amount of missing data, given the number of variables that are in this data set. The CESD, on the other hand, is abysmal. 42.5% of the cases are missing on the CESD. A lot of people, almost half of our participants, did not fill out the CESD, or at least didn't fill it out enough that we actually have a total score for them. Given that, I would most likely drop that variable from the analysis unless it was the most critical variable you had, and I would look at that variable separately. So if we're running something like a multiple regression, a MANOVA, anything like that, I would most likely drop the CESD out of that analysis due to the amount of missing data. It is very likely that there's something going on in that variable. It could be that there's something consistent in who didn't answer that variable, perhaps people who have higher or lower values on something else didn't feel safe filling out that variable. So I'm not sure. We'd want to go back and certainly look at that a lot more closely if we were going to include it in the analysis. Most likely I would drop it from the analyses and see how the rest of it goes if I was running some sort of multivariate statistic or a multiple regression.